Okay, ladies, this video will help you with page 77. So here they want you to distinguish. That means tell the difference between the three types of adaptations. And Miss Natasha found this information on table 1, and that's on page 290. But I didn't copy all of the information from the book because it would be hard to remember that. I summarized. So here's what I got. Structural. The root word here is structure, and we know that structure means how something is built. So a structural adaptation would be a change. It would be something about the way an organism is built. An example there could be color and shape. So for example, the giraffes and their fur color, that's a structural adaptation because it's something about the way that their body is built or something about the way that they look. The next one is behavioral. And that means how an animal acts or what an animal does. And some examples of that would be sleeping through the winter. So when it's really, really cold, it's hard to find food because it's so cold. So some animals actually have changed their behavior. They have a behavioral adaptation to eat a whole bunch in the spring and the summer and get really, really fat. And then they sleep all through the spring. And then when they wake up, they do the whole process again. Another one could be hunting at night. That's a behavioral change or a way that an animal acts that helps it survive better in its environment. And then also playing dead. Some animals can act like they're dead to actually avoid being eaten by a predator. So those are all things about the way that an animal acts. The last one is functional. And the definition in the book says something about a biochemical change. I know you girls don't know what that is because you haven't been taught that yet. So the root word here is function. And remember that a function is something a function is what something does or its job. So a description of a functional adaptation is a new job or thing that the animal is able to do with its body. So we have changes in its body that allows it to do a new job. And one example would be spraying venom. Venom is poison. So I can spray poison to kill something that I need to eat, or I can spray poison to actually defend myself and to help save myself from a predator. And then you also have shedding. Shedding is when animals actually lose their hair. And it's something that happens naturally. The animal doesn't say, oh, it's time for me to shed. It's a job that their body just does naturally because something has changed. Something has changed in their body with the chemicals in their body. Okay, next one. Describe two types of structural adaptation. And I found this on page 291, paragraph 3. So and notice that Miss Natasha didn't write these out of the book. I've summarized what I knew. So camouflage allows organisms to blend in with their environment. In mimicry, species where it's a adaptation where an organism looks like another organism with a good trait. So one organism is going to copy something about another organism, but it gives them a benefit. So in the book, they talked about a snake that's not poisonous, a snake that doesn't have poison or venom to hurt other animals, that looks a lot like an animal that actually does spray poison to hurt other animals or to protect it, to kill animals or to protect itself. So because the important part here is that I'm copying another organism that has a good trait. So I don't just copy any organism. I'm copying an organism that has a good trait that helps it survive better in its environment. Okay. The last one was assess how a structural adaptation helps an animal both to avoid predators and find food. So Miss Natasha found these answers on page 291, paragraph 3, and page 292, paragraph 4. So the stonefish, you had to be really specific here. You couldn't just write stay away from predators. Avoid predators means to stay away from predators. But the stonefish looks like a stone. It looks like the stones that are on the bottom of the ocean. That's its environment. So predators cannot eat it because a predator wouldn't eat a stone. The animals that eat a stonefish don't want to eat stones. So if I look like a stone, it won't eat me because it can't tell the difference between me being a stone, so I can stay away from predators. And then the next one is finding food. It looks like stones once again. And if it looks like a stone, the prey won't run from it or hide from it, because the prey aren't afraid of stones, because stones don't eat other animals. Stones aren't living things. They don't eat other animals. And if the stonefish actually looks like a stone, it could sneak up on the other organisms and eat it easily. All right, girls, that's all for page 77.